Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual have been an unstoppable force since formation, winning every single Divisional Cup finals this new chapter, and they wasted absolutely no time, winning their first game of the group stage to punch their ticket to grand finals. So in today's video, we're going to break down their strategies and what allowed them to do this so easily in the group stage. Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual have moved their drop from the boxcars to flooded frogs since the new addition of the vault. This POI boasts a significant amount of loot density with 45 regular chests, 3 rare chests, 5 elemental chests, 78 floor spawns, and 25 slurp barrels, and that is because of the new addition of the vault. And fortunately for them, since they are the most dominant trio in all of North America, they are getting this place completely uncontested once again. After looting their entire drop, they now need to focus on Surge. They're first going to pick up one of the Shoguns here before they move out of the POI and spot a trio that they want to start an engagement with. After getting a little bit of AR damage, Peterbot is going to push the pace, voiding directly on top of the hill where 2 of them are staying. He's going to do a significant amount of damage to one, but unfortunately it's going to go down to that person's teammate to his right, but Cold is going to be right there to support, eventually on the backside, knocking not 1, but 2. Cold is then, as Ritual is going to revive Peterbot, push the 3rd member of the trio mate, and he's going to use some very nice counter piece control here, predicting an edit, cracking his shield, and then cleaning up this trio, giving them a huge amount of surge before going into the mid game. After picking up that trio, the focus now switches from surge to positioning. They don't have that far of a rotation, but I want you guys to take a look at what Ritual does. At first, they sit in a bush trying to get some tags on some teams ahead of them, but this time they are going to create a huge dead side wrap, not getting into any engagements and taking a ton of zone. They're going to use the launch pads located all over the west side here to loot old looted POIs to increase their heals, but since they got Surge, they can afford to do this, and by the time that they get into zone, just take a look at how good their positioning is, as no trio is in 1,000 meters of their position, giving them a ton of freedom to roam in space and not have to worry about getting griefed. Their good positioning pays off. As the zone continues to still pull south, they're able to easily just rotate in with this launch pad and secure free positioning with no congestion and an ability to move throughout the map pretty much uncontested. Their next rotation, once again, is incredibly easy due to their early positioning, and this is a good example of not being greedy. The next zone pulls east here, and Ritual gets this trio in, but they do not try to force their position because there's multiple teams above them in a ravine, so they decide just to sit here and wait for the next zone to pull while they're safe instead of running the risk of getting sprayed out by multiple teams or getting focused and thus taking a pretty inferior position in terms of elevation. The next rotation pulls off the mountain and is almost completely an entire water zone, but take a look at where Ritual puts them. He makes sure to put them on an area where they have solid ground, and after getting in and establishing, they realized that they had to invest a good amount of materials at this point, so they decided to make a pre-edit play and go for a refresh. However, unfortunately for them, one of the few times it doesn't work, as actually the other trio predicted it, sitting on a right hand and cracking Peterbot's shield, essentially forcing them off. However, not all is lost, and they just restabilize and begin to play with the mats that they already had. After securing themselves on the land position, this pays off as the zone pulls out of the water into an all-land zone, making this next rotation incredibly short. They are also going to get a nice double point boost, as Cold is going to pick up 2 eliminations from his box with the AR here before this next zone rotation. After the next zone pulls, you can see it is a very long pull, but Ritual's information tells him to make the call for his trio to go to high ground. The other team wasn't very well established here, and all 3 of the entire trio use their Void Mask to essentially catch that team off guard here, and they're able to claim the high ground for themselves with little to no resistance before the first really long moving zone. Ritual once again is going to make a fantastic call as he recognizes that Booga is looking across at front side of zone for height, but he uses fantastic aim here to get a significant amount of damage and immediately void over and build on top of their heads, making sure that they secure their high ground. He's also going to get a significant amount of damage onto Sphinx here, and then Peterbot is going to be able to clean up this elimination when that opponent voids for some additional elim points. As the next zone pulls to the northeast, they're going to do a good job of immediately recognizing a team that they can build off as Peterbot uses his void to get ahead. However, another team essentially tries to full psycho him. However, it was just a solo, and Cold is going to be able to easily pick up that elimination. And another team who ended up getting a little too elevated as well. Cold quickly makes very light work of him, and they have now once again gotten 2 refreshes to secure their high ground once again. After securing those 2 eliminations, they get immediately chopped out. However, since they have already dealt with the threat, they quickly reestablish, and Ritual gets an easy elimination with his AR here and voids to front side. Cold sits back on the very backside of zone to reconnect and reinforce their high ground. Now Ritual is going to take more of a tarper IGL role, opening to the side of zone with his wood tarps here, and all 3 trio mates are going to use their ARs to pressure the entire lobby and burn their material. All of the pressure that this trio has put down with their ARs is going to finally pay off with some eliminations, as Peterbot and Cold pick up 2 freebies on opponents with no materials, since that they have been spraying their mats out the entire time. This is going to eventually bring it to a 3v3 showdown with a qualification to Grands on the line. It's now a 3v3 showdown versus Cooper, Sphinx, and Vidil, and things start off strong as Cold drops down and catches Sphinx off guard with a huge pump shot. However, he's going to eat a massive amount of damage from Cooper here and doesn't have any more materials. When he ends up dropping down, unfortunately, he's not able to finish off Vidil and ends up going down to Storm. However, just before that, Peterbot also dropped down and got a significant amount of damage onto Vidil as well, and then got some chip damage onto Sphinx. However, Peterbot is incredibly weak with no materials, but somehow gets out just alive, bouncing around, mantling everywhere, and Ritual is going to be the one who finally punches their ticket to Grands after doing a little bit of chip damage to Sphinx, who is in the storm, going down to it as well, and then uses his AR while sitting in zone to get a significant amount of damage to Cooper, who also perishes to zone, and this trio completes one of the most dominant games from the entire qualifier, and we will be seeing them more than likely winning Grands as well. Well guys, that is going to do it for today's VOD review. I hope that you guys did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. And I hope I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.